thought I was done for tonight. And then I heard something, and I figured I will take advantage of what I heard and I thought right now while the feelings and the thoughts are still fresh in my mind and go ahead and share. So I'll say this: Uncle Tom, Uncle Tom, Uncle Tom. Uncle Tom, censorship and book burning, right? And this is especially for, you know, my skin folk and my kinfolk. Uncle Tom, when you use that epithet towards another black person, do you know what you're saying? Do you even know what you're saying? Uncle Tom was a bestseller, and there was this massive propaganda push to censor the book because it was transformative. The book was written by an abolitionist, white woman, named Harriet Beecher Stowe. And the book was so transformative for people that at the beginning of the Civil War, Abraham Lincoln met her, and he said something to the effect of, "Oh, so you're the little lady who started this great war." Because the main character, Uncle Tom, was a middle-aged slave with a family, and he sacrificed his life to help other slaves escape. And he refused when it was found out that he was helping them escape. He refused to rat them out. So rather than rat out his fellow slaves, he was killed. He kept his mouth shut so that they could escape up to Canada and then eventually to Liberia. And he was tortured, and he did not disclose where they were. And he allowed himself to be killed rather than betray them. And in this day and age, I'm telling you, if I hear any black person call another black person an Uncle Tom, it's obvious to me that they don't know their history, and they haven't done their homework, and they don't know what they're talking about. I was thinking tonight, so I was listening to something, and it occurred to me this person was talking about slavery and Uncle Tom's, the house Negroes. The fact is that everybody who was a slave during slavery was a slave, right? And so there were the slaves who worked in the fields and the slaves who worked in the houses. And typically, the slaves who worked in the houses were also the sons and daughters of the master, right? And there was this crazy, racial hierarchy that was, for financial reasons and to protect, whether it's, land or farm animals or human beings. But the slaves who were the house Negroes were slaves. They didn't have a choice in the matter any more than the field Negroes had a choice. They were all slaves. There's absolutely no choice in the matter. And they were all human beings. And human beings, we have this instinct to live. The instinct is no difference between whether you're a house slave or a field slave. I should say enslaved person, okay? So when I see black people saying things like they're skin folk but not kinfolk, or they're a coon and they're an Uncle Tom, all it says to me is that they don't know what they're talking about, they're miseducated, and the brain is like locked down with fear. This book, Uncle Tom's Cabin, was censored for a reason, because when people read the book, it touched their heart so much, and it was so transformative. It gave them the vision and the will and the motivation to free themselves and to free other people. And it really did spark the Civil War. And it was a book about a man who sacrificed his life. He was a slave and he sacrificed his life to save other slaves. Um, we've got a lot of homework to do, my people, lots and lots of homework. Uh, because what we're going through right now, the world, the coronavirus shutdown, misinformation, all sorts of campaigns, hate, hate, hate everywhere, name calling. We cannot afford this. And we cannot afford this for our children or our children's children. You know, we really need to educate ourselves. So I've known this about Uncle Tom for a very long time. I've kind of kept my mouth shut for a very long time, but then something transformative happened with me, and I'm not afraid anymore, you know. Um, so I suggest, read the book, Uncle Tom's Cabin. Also watch the movie by Larry Elder. It's called Uncle Tom. The next time you feel it about to roll off your tongue or you hear it, just think, this is a man, like the propaganda campaign against the book was they flipped, like they took a truth and they flipped it and perverted it. And then they served us a lie and said it was the truth. But the only way that any of us are ever free is education, educate, learn, listen and learn. Don't ever take anybody's word. If they say those people over there are bad and there's this and that, when you see somebody pointing a finger at somebody and saying they're bad people, something is being hidden. There's a deception going on. That person is locking your brain down, right? Pushing you into the limbic brain, and the cognitive function starts shutting down. And that's just a sign. So if anybody says those people over there are bad people, you know what I'm going to do? Well, first of all, I'm not going to go, oh, okay. No, I'm going to go to those people and I'm going to say, what do you believe in? What's your belief system? What is your thought process? I just, that's me. And really, I've said it before, these algorithms feed our egos and they give us dopamine hits, but they're all serving somebody else's agenda. And anytime that, Black people are fighting against each other, we have absolutely no reason to fight against each other. Every type of Black person is really, important, just like in any ecosystem, we all need each other. We're not enemies of each other. And I'm not going to call names of the people who call names of other people. It's like in my other video, I was talking about like hatred. We hate our opponent and then we actually become them, and they might not even be what we think they are. So, okay, I've said my piece, like it's a conversation that we have to have. We really need to have it if we want to be free up here. Okay, bye.